Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and there's a lot of crypto moving around in large chunks, I would say, including XRP. Take a look at this headline from crypto media outlet You Today. Ripple and custodial service BitGo shipped almost 300 million XRP during last 20 hours. And it's not just XRP moving around. This has definitely caught a lot of people's attention, and understandably so. From the Daily Hodl, third largest Bitcoin address emptied in massive $1.2 billion Bitcoin whale transfer. Yes, indeed. I'll tell you what, man, I don't know what's going on with these whales, but they getting splishy, splashy, and aquatic AF, my friends. So I'll tell you this: when I see transfers this big, I think it's one of two things. Typically, it's either an exchange for some reason, maybe some sort of security reason, shuffling a cryptocurrency around, or it's whales manipulating potentially, because other actors in the space, which I'll flesh out when I get to this in the video, depending on who you are, you're more likely to behave a little bit differently, perhaps in stealth mode, because stuff like this type of news gets a lot of attention, right? Like shifts like this, they really do, and it's not always necessarily positive. But anyway, before we go any further, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you would please ever so delicately tap the like button, I would definitely appreciate the support, because if you do, it will simply tell the YouTube algorithm that you don't completely hate this particular Moon Lambo content, in which case the YouTube machine is more likely to suggest this video to others that have similar interests. That's just kind of how this all works. That's actually the big. If you ever wonder why, by the way, why you're being suggested, or why YouTube is suggesting that you watch certain things, it almost 100% of it. I don't know what the percentage is, but I know that the vast majority of it is based on what other people that YouTube perceives to be quote unquote like you are also watching. That's it. And so as far as the specifics of that, I don't know, but I mean that's pretty widely available information. I just don't know if a lot of people are aware of it, but that's more so that actually. So even people putting keywords in the titles of videos and thumbnails and stuff, it's barely relevant, to be honest. But anyway, and also go ahead and subscribe, because why the hell not? Shout out to Crypto Vet here, all up on the Twitters, who sent this story my way. Thank you very much, my friend. I do appreciate you tagging me there. And so let's jump on in. The major Twitter bot that tracks XRP transactions and shares them with Twitter has spread the word that Ripple and BitGo, along with Ripple's on-demand liquidity corridor Bitstamp, have wired an amount of XRP slightly under 300 million. And indeed, that is quite a bit of XRP. They go on to cite here that the amount at time of press anyway was about $72.7 million. And there's been a lot of activity on the ledger lately. There's certainly no denying that. And so Ripple sent 10 million XRP to BitGo, a platform that offers services of wallet and crypto custody for institutional investors, many of whom are Ripple customers. And there's the transactions on the screen right there. It's just a couple screen grabs. And then Ripple's on-demand liquidity corridor based in Luxembourg conducted a transfer worth 10.8 million XRP. So let's not forget that XRP is one of the only cryptocurrencies on the entire planet at the time I'm recording this, October 2020, that is actually used for something. Doesn't that matter? I think it matters a little baby boo bit. And look, I don't have a financial background. I'm not offering any financial advice of any kind. Don't buy or sell because of me. But I personally firmly believe that utility matters and shall win the day. That's my investment thesis. And so that's why I am happy to be long XRP. And I'm very long XRP unless I'm provided with new data that would make me feel differently. Outside of that, I'm just going to hold. In fact, I am so long that I will never sell. Ever. Not all, well, I mean, sell some along the way, but I'm never going to sell all of it. So we'll just see here. And then there's a little subheading, long-term expectations toward XRP. XRP is the fourth-ranked cryptocurrency with a $11.3 billion market cap. Ripple works on XRP as a bridge currency between CBDCs in the future and for wiring payments via RippleNet between countries, regardless of the distance or the amount sent. And so I think that was worded a little bit sloppily, but true enough, as central bank digital currencies come on the scene, yes, look, these are their own individual pools. I'm going to make another video on this. Like, I do need a whole video for it, so like I'm not going to get into in this video, but on the concept of central bank digital currencies, and yeah, you're going to see tons of them in the years to come. Just tons of. I think that pretty much every country on the planet is going to have their own central bank digital currency, but they cannot do the same thing that a non-jurisdictional decentralized cryptocurrency can do, like XRP. There is a place in the world for a minimum of one asset like this, and as far as this use case, XRP being positioned as a bridge currency, well, hell, it's already getting used today. And central bank digital currencies are not the answer, period. And so it's good, though. It's just an evolution of fiat currency. It's still fiat currency, but you're going to need something to connect them. They're not just magically going to, like central bank digital currencies, they're not just, because they exist, suddenly going to eliminate Nostro accounts. That is not I'll flesh it out in a separate video, but you need XRP. And so to me, this is absolutely fantastic. Now there's this headline from the Daily Hodl. Third largest Bitcoin address emptied in massive $1.2 billion Bitcoin whale transfer. Oh yes, that's quite a big one. A massive Bitcoin trove is suddenly on the move as one of the wealthiest whales in history transfers more than $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. An anonymous high-rolling entity just relocated 92,857 Bitcoin worth $1.2 billion for a fee of just $1.31. Now, look, I got to say it right. If it were XRP and that were the dollar amount, $1.2 billion in XRP, it would have been fractions of a penny. It would have been substantially less than $1.31. And still, that's nothing to sneeze at, because transferring that much money for $1.31 or anything that has that much a value associated with it relative to the United States dollars, like, you can't do that with, like, you can't do it in the legacy financial systems. Like, that is something. And so not entirely to take away, like, let's give credit where it's due. I'm just saying, there is another asset that is better positioned to move money around the planet in general. Now, in this case, it's just a single Bitcoin transfer. I get it. I know, not exactly the same. Not the point that I'm making. I'm just saying stuff here. But yeah, you can't move money around that amount of money that cheaply. And so it's like, to the people that don't understand that there's utility to the cryptocurrency asset class, like, even just that right there, even if you haven't done additional research, might that pique your interest? Might you be like, well, maybe there's something to that, and then research further. Well, hell yeah. I mean, I would certainly think so. The transfer was first noticed by the automatic blockchain monitoring tool known as Bitcoin Blockbot. Blockbot. Damn, dude, I'm on the struggle bus today with the enunciation of words or something. Bitcoin Blockbot. There we go. Nailed it. According to the latest Block Explorer data, the whale moved the Bitcoin into two separate wallets. An unknown wallet with a total of 2 transactions received 88,857 Bitcoin. A second wallet that received 4,000 Bitcoin has a recorded 19 transactions. And so when you're talking about transactions this big, something came to mind, because I've watched a ton of interviews. Like, I'm trying to watch all of them, of Michael Saylor. He's the guy who is super pro Bitcoin, and he's the CEO of MicroStrategy. That's the company that bought very recently nearly $500 million worth of Bitcoin. And just hearing his philosophy on everything, it's been very interesting. And I think the vast majority of what he states makes a ton of sense, even though he's currently not interested in altcoins. Fair enough. Okay, I got it. I think that's the wrong way of looking at stuff, but there's a reason that he put the money where he put it, which I'm not going to get into in this video. But in terms of his thought process, it's pretty logical. Then you just get into the debate of, okay, but is Bitcoin going to be here in the future? And I hope so. I sure as hell hope so. I'd say there's certainly a very good chance here, despite its shortcomings, because it's the first cryptocurrency, so technologically it's inferior to a lot of the other stuff that's come since then, but standards matter. Like, I get it. Humans decide that standards matter. But one of the things he was talking about is, as far as whale activity, if you want to unload a massive amount of Bitcoin, like, you can do it in an afternoon. Like, even if it's like over $1 billion worth, like, you absolutely can do that. And maybe if you want to do it in that short an order, Maybe he said that you could quote unquote take a 3% haircut or something like that. Just because with that much downward pressure over that short of time period, okay, fine, maybe people will start to see that. But generally speaking, if you're moving that much, if you want to purchase also though, like it's you can do it over the counter behind the scenes and over such a period of time that nobody's really functionally going to realize. It'll just look like a string of small transactions. It's not necessarily going to jostle the market in any sort of way. And so that's why I was saying earlier in the video, when I see these huge transactions, I'm like, well, it's probably a cryptocurrency exchange or a whale attempting to manipulate, because who else is going to do that for what reason? I mean, maybe you could come up with something that I haven't conceived. Okay, fine. If so, it'd be a fun conversation piece. But generally speaking, when I see that stuff, I'm thinking it's something along those lines anyway. But interesting times we live in. That's it for this video, though. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Mambo.